So welcome to Money Mondays with Ash Cash. Excited. I'm not excited. I'm going to tell you why I'm not excited in a second. But we're going live at 12 p.m. Let me make sure I share this video. So give me a second. I'm going to share this video on my different pages. Let's see. All right, so we're gonna share this, right? Share to a page. So I'm gonna share this to my business page. Tune in now as I give you money lessons learned from last night's all right. So tune in now, and so as I'm sharing this, make sure you share this. Make sure you share this video with your friends on your Facebook pages. But we're gonna talk about we're gonna give you money lessons learned from last night's disappointing. No, it was a great game. It was truly a great game, but I'm disappointed. I'm gonna tell you why I'm disappointed. So tune in now as we give you money lessons learned from last night's Super Bowl game. Super Bowl game. All right, and then we're gonna say tell a friend to tell a friend. All right, 5 minutes. We're gonna go live in 5 minutes. All right, so I'm gonna share this on my page. All right, and then I'm gonna share this. Mr. Bogdan, thank you for joining, sir. Hope you're feeling better. All right, so now I gotta share this on my page. All right, so we're going live in 3 minutes. 3 minutes. I want to give you some money lessons learned from last night's game. I got 4 for you. Hey, Rashid Ali, how are you, sir? Thank you for tuning in. Appreciate you. Stick around. Share this on your pages. We're talking about money lessons learned from last night's exciting Super Bowl game. Going live in 2 minutes. 2 minutes. We're going live in 2 minutes. Wait, hold on, Rashid. Take it easy, Rashid. All right, 2 more minutes. 2 more minutes. We're going live. 2 more minutes. We are going live. Giving you some tips on this exciting game from last night. Yeah. I'm gonna give you 4 tips. So four money tips. So when you think about everything in life, there's ways to associate it with your money, and so we're gonna talk about that. All right. Thank you for the crying gifts, I guess. All right. All right, 1 more minute. We're going live. I want to talk about the last night's game. I'm tight. I'm not. So obvious. You could tell I am not a New England Patriot fan. It's obvious. But I don't know how to be mean. So I'm smiling because it was a great game. So I wasn't mad that I stayed up to watch it. It was a great game, and so I'm excited that there were some lessons that we could learn from the game, but I'm still upset that Atlanta couldn't close the deal. You had to close the deal. You didn't close the deal. All right, 12 p.m. So thank you so much for joining us this week's episode of Money Mondays with Ash Cash. I am Ash Cash, your financial empowerment coach, and every week we are bringing you knowledge, bringing you tools that are going to help you become financially free. It's going to empower your finances. This is brought to you by Bank Mobile, an all-digital app that is providing financial empowerment, allowing you to be financially free or giving you the tools to be financially free. And this is one of the ways by giving you this live every Monday at 12 p.m. And so, as a financial educator, as somebody who is always trying to help people become financially free and help you manage your finances better, help you build wealth, because it's more importantly about building wealth. And so when I talk about financial freedom, I'm talking about wealth. I'm talking about from a long-term perspective. What are the things that you can do in order to create this wealth for yourself? And so while I was watching the game last night, so full disclosure, I am a New York Giants fan, hands down. Upset that we didn't make it to the finals or the Super Bowl, but I am also a lifelong Patriots hater. I don't hate too many things, but I you guys put that out there, but I'm a hater. I'm a Patriots hater. And so any team that would have played against the Patriots, I would have rooted for. So, I got some folks in Atlanta, so salute to Atlanta. So I really wanted them to win. I'm usually a voice for the underdog. And so when I think about, the Atlanta Falcons, never won a Super Bowl yet. They had a great shot at it, and I was like, this is it. So I was rooting for them. So it was a great game. But the fact that the Patriots have won, the Patriots are, Bill Belichick, Tom Brady, not even arguably, I was going to say arguably the best quarterback coach duo, but not hands down, man, greatest of all time. They earn that. So regardless of, how much I hate the Patriots, I'm going to say that they were able to, talent, skill, perseverance, hard work, it paid off. And so I wanted to give you four tips or 4 things that money lessons that you can learn from this game. Because if you didn't watch the game, it's all right? If you didn't watch the game, can I get some hearts? Y'all giving me crying, emojis, and I understand the emotions, but give me some hearts. I need some hearts. I understand that, or if you didn't watch the game, right? The Atlanta Falcons played the New England Patriots, and Atlanta was up 21-0. Thank you, Queen. I appreciate it. The Atlanta Falcons were up 21-0 in a Super Bowl game. No one has ever come back from that large of a deficit. Halftime, it was 21-3. Right? So 21-3 at halftime, down 18 points. No one ever came back from it. But the New England Patriots were able to come back and win 34-28, which disheartened me. And so I wanted to give you 3 or 4 lessons, money lessons that you can learn from this. And the lesson number 1 is really, regardless of how you start, it's how you finish that matters the most. And so when it comes to your finances, a lot of times people think that, because they may have grown up a certain way, because they may have made a bad decision along the way, because they're in a current circumstance, that they feel doomed, they feel trapped, they feel as if there is, they can't really get themselves back on, back to where they need to go. And if yesterday's game is not an example of how you could be so far behind, and I'm saying so far behind, where everyone is counting you out, you're counting yourself out. No, you're not counting yourself out, because if you were counting yourself out, you're not going to win, right? But everybody's counting you out. You're so far behind, but instead you understand that it's not about where you start, it's where you finish. It's really about, what are you determined? Are you focused? Are you, what are you doing, or how are you allowing where you are to stop you? Instead of focusing on where you are, just understand that it's really not about where you start. It's not about the starting point. It's really about the finishing point. And so Tom Brady and the gang, they showed that. They showed that even being far behind in a deficit, that they were able to continue to work, keep their eyes on their goals, work hard, be perseverant, and be able to win. And so you will win in your finances if you are focused, if you are paying attention to your end goal, not necessarily where you are. It's good to know where you are, because understanding your starting point is going to give you, allow you to know how much work you need to put in. But don't use where you are, or don't look at where you are as a deterrent. Don't look at it as if, because I'm at this space in my life, or I'm at this space with my finances, that there is no hope. There's always hope. There's always opportunity. There's always something you can do to get your finances back in order. So step number 1, or tip, or money lesson number 1, is regardless of how you start, it's how you finish that matters most. Number 2 is another 2 lesson that we could focus on, or we could learn from this this win, the Super Bowl win, the Patriots win, is that you have to focus on your goals, right? Never give permanent energy to temporary things. And I love that quote, because sometimes, because something is happening at the moment, it may seem as if it is a permanent thing, but it is a temporary thing. And so if you are giving permanent energy to temporary things, you can get to a point where you're so focused on this temporary thing that you allow yourself to lose sight of what the focus is. If you want to win at the game of finances, if you want to win with your budget, if you want to win with creating financial freedom, you have to always focus on that. Even if I take it from a psychological standpoint, or, a law of attraction standpoint, what you focus on is what you're going to get. If you focus on losing, you will lose. If you focus on winning, you will win. Because those who put their attention to something, it allows you to now figure out what is the next step now? So if I'm focusing on winning, I'm going to say this is where I am today, and I'm so focused on winning with my finances that I say, what steps do I need to take? If I'm living paycheck to paycheck, how do I get out of that? What steps do I need to take to stop living paycheck to paycheck? But if I'm focusing on living paycheck to paycheck, then I'm going to continue to have that because I'm dreading it. I'm saying, why? And it's not a solution based. You're not finding solutions to it. You're just really thinking about what you're doing. So it's important for you to say to yourself, let me focus on my goals. What are my goals and what can I do to focus on those goals to make sure that I reach them? Number 3 is play the long game. The Atlanta Falcons were a young team. And they had, I'm telling you, they had this win. They could have won this win, or they could have won this game. But when you think about them being a young team and the Patriots being an older team, a more experienced team, when Bill Belichick is focusing on, what players to recruit, he's normally focusing on, again, the long game, right? He's focusing on developing his team, developing players, getting people that mesh well together. And so as you think about your finances, a lot of times people are always focused on these quick fixes, on these things that will fix their finances tomorrow. Credit repair is one of the biggest things. I get people who email me all the time and say, hey, I need to, increase my score by 100 points or by 50 points or by whatever, but not really understanding that that's not the long game. I could teach you how to increase your credit score, but that's not really going to help you sustain it. If you don't understand the mechanisms that go into credit, then you're not going to be able to sustain it. If you don't create good money management skills, then you're not going to be able to sustain a budget. So, it may be good that you say to yourself, I want to save $1,000, so I'm going to do this challenge and I'm going to save this money. But you always have to think about the long game. Think about from the long-term perspective. Some sacrifices that you make today can create a system. Right? It's about systems. Whatever you do repeatedly is what you're going to get. So you could, whatever you do today, you could create a system that will allow your finances to manage themselves successfully, automatically. I'll give you an example. I'm not good at saving. And then this is me. This is financial educator for 15 years. I know the difference between right or wrong, but a lot of times if I go to my bank account and I see money available, I may want to, I'll find a reason to spend it. I'll be like, you know what, K&G Fashions having, buy one, get 2 free on suits, and I need some new suits. And so I'll buy it or so even myself, I'm not really good at saving, so I have to force myself to save. I make sure that automatically, I have a percentage of my money going into a bank account that I don't have access to, but then it's a certain percentage that goes in every 2 weeks, every month. So that way I don't have to think about savings. I could just save automatically, and because it's happening automatically, I don't have to think about it. I don't have to do anything. And if God forbid there's an emergency and the money that I get on a regular basis can't cover it, I can then go to my savings account. But that's a long-term perspective. That's a long-run thinking. And so the New England Patriots, they were focused on the long term. When they were putting their team together, they were thinking about the long term. How are these players are going to mesh? And so that is important that you focus on the long term. And then last but not least, a fumble can cost you the game. And so let me help you understand, right? Matt Ryan, he did a phenomenal job, right? He was doing good first half, but then there were a lot of mistakes. Some people could, you could blame it on whatever, but you could also say that the Falcons choked a little bit. And so the fumble that happened with Matt Ryan, he should have protected the ball. he could have protected the ball, and that fumble cost the game, in my opinion, right? I'm not 100% right? But that fumble could have cost the game. And so when you think about your finances, there are many things that you can bounce back from. Many things you can bounce back from. But sometimes when you are focused on your finances, if you allow things to get in the way, a fumble can cost you the game. I'll give you an example. If someone is living paycheck to paycheck, and this is something that's real. Somebody maybe have issues managing their finances, and then they have these habits that they need to break out of. They get a bonus. We're in tax season, so sometimes people get taxes, their tax refund. Sometimes people get bonuses. Sometimes people get raises, and instead of using that money to be able to change their financial situation, they go out and they spend this money on something that, new furniture, clothes, something that is materialistic, instead of focusing on how can they use this money to now rebuild their finances, to get out of the cycle of living paycheck to paycheck. And so that is what I call a fumble. Right? That is a fumble with your finances. If you are in a predicament and you are giving a way out, you have to make new decisions. You have to stay focused. You have to protect, right? Matt Ryan, he needed to protect that ball by all means. He needed to protect that ball. And so he did not protect that ball, and that started what we saw as the loss. And so you have to protect the ball, which is your finances. So make sure that when you are given tax money, bonuses, when you are given a raise, do not increase your expenses to now match this new money that you're making. Act your wage. Keep your expenses at the same space, and allow yourself to build that emergency fund. Right? If you got a tax refund and you don't have 6 to 8 months of expenses in an account and you're spending that money, then that is a fumble. That is a financial fumble. If you want to make sure that you have 6 to 8 months of expenses in an account, you want to make sure that you have some cushion so that you break the cycle of living paycheck to paycheck, or that you are properly managing your finances. So those are the 4 money lessons that you could learn from yesterday's disappointing game. Now, it wasn't a disappointing game. Again, it was a great game, one of the best games I've seen in a while. But I am a Patriots hater, so I wanted the Patriots to lose. But oh well, you don't always get what you want. But next year, New York Giants all the way. But here are the 4 money lessons that you should have learned, or you could learn from the Falcons and Patriots game. Number 1, regardless of where you start, it's where you finish that matters most. Number 2, focus on your goals. No matter where you are in the spectrum, focus on your goals. Keep an eye on where you want to go instead of where you are. Number 3, play the long game. Understand that it is your money habits that matter the most. So do the things that will help you create a new money habit. Do not focus on these quick fixes, these short-term things. Focus on your money habits that will take your finances to the next level. And then last but not least, understand that a fumble can cost you the game. Protect your assets. Protect everything that you're working hard for, because at the end of the day, financial freedom is about being able to be happy. It is about being able to live your life stress-free. It is about being able to build your family, your community. There's so much that comes along with creating financial freedom that has to be your aim, right? You want to have your money work for you instead of you working hard for money. So I am Ash Cash. Thank you so much for tuning in today. If you have any questions, definitely hit me up, or you can email me. I'll give you the email first, because sometimes people don't want to ask questions here. But if you want to email me, ashcash ash@bankmobile.com. That is the email that you can email me if you have any questions. But thank you for tuning in to this week's episode of Money Mondays with Ash Cash, brought to you by Bank Mobile, an all-digital app that provides a financially empowering banking experience. Make sure you download the app. James Hall, appreciate you, brother. Thank you for tuning in. Shoot me an email, because I don't know what email you're talking about, but shoot me an email, ashcash@bankmobile.com. Ahmad, thank you for joining. Queen, thank you for joining. Rashid, Bogdan, thank you guys for joining. I appreciate you. Make sure you tell a friend to tell a friend. Tune in next week, same time, same place. Every Monday at 12 p.m., we are live on the Bank Mobile Facebook page, so make sure you tune in. I am Ash Cash. I'll see you next week, same time, same place. Be great.